Number 55, bro.
In the books.
It's a good episode.
Bro, I think that is probably our best episode yet.
Everything flowed really well. I thought the segments connected, and there wasn't any lag time in there.
You actually got the...
I got the lighter going.
Yeah,
shoot, man.
First shot.
Oh, it was great. I
All's
really liked
right
it.
in the world.
I think we had some philosophical breakthroughs on Pastor and the Heathen.
I believe so.
I mean, we've helped cure some societal ills.
All ills.
All they got to do is listen to it now.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
What?
shoot.
What? I don't like that look.
I didn't press record.
Always hit record, Pinewood. Come on, man. Do it. I guess let's do it again. Just freaking kick it.
Well, howdy ho, my very good neighbors, and welcome to the
Thunderdome! The dome of podcasting thunder where the true and the noble go head to head against the greatest foes this world has ever known. Move over, Joe Rogan, cause you ain't got nothing on Pinewood and Beezy. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Where'd that come from? Did you have a stroke or
What
something?
happened?
Bro, we
blacked out.
have 17 listeners, and you put us up against Joe Rogan.
I don't know what happened.
Well, it's bad either way that you
Something.
slice it.
Something hit the flick of my tip. Hogan's under the table or something and just punched me in the bone.
Well, this is not the Thunderdome, but this is the place that you can come for solace and refuge from the seriousness of your everyday world, a break from the monotony of your job, and the weekly chance that you have for a small time of distancing yourself from the humdrum of your children's existence. That's right. Welcome to Frat Knives with these guys. I'm your host, Pastor Pinewood, and across from this table, as always, is your obnoxiously caffeinated host. What is your deal today, bro? You've been like on edge, man, like the whole time.
Yeah, so I woke up this morning.
Okay, regular
Had a
day,
great
right?
Yeah, regular day, and butt chugged one of those Guinness Nitros.
like that Guinness Nitro we had last week?
Yeah.
So like the, what'd you do, enema it?
Yeah, butt chugged it.
You had like coffee, Guinness, enema.
Yeah, buddy.
And that was like in the morning?
That's how you put a little pep in your step in the morning, buddy.
That's how you put a little Pepto at noon is what you do. Dude, can you imagine? Can you imagine an enema at all? But also, can you imagine like an alcoholic enema? That's got to be like really hard on the old system there.
People actually do that.
Well, enemas for sure, and I've heard of coffee enemas.
And that's the term. Butt chugging is a legit term.
I don't think it's a legit term.
It is a medical term.
Are you telling me
Maybe
that
not medical,
there are medical
but
doctors out there that call it butt chugging?
Yes, I think
I don't
Nurse
think that's
Ashley.
right.
Nurse Ashley can vouch on this one, but it is called butt chugging. So
Wow.
you would stick a bottle up and down the hatch, up the hatch.
I don't know how that works.
How'd you do that?
I would
I don't
assume
know.
you would be upside down.
Yeah,
So
so
it would-
technically down the
It would
hatch.
be down up the hatch. The up,
Downing it up.
The up down. The up down enema.
Upside down.
Oh, gracious. Well, we are
Yeah.
back in the doghouse once again.
Yeah.
And this will be the last week we're in the doghouse for a while. We'll be in the at the farm
The barn at the farm.
next couple of weeks, and then also we'll be at the farm for our hidden revival.
Yes.
And then maybe in the future we'll kind of reverse that around, but that's how that's going to go. Now, I do have a question that's kind of related to that.
Okay.
You're definitely like a little crazy today. I struggle like the first maybe hour I'm at work.
Okay.
So you get up, get in the car, go to work, and like the first hour and a half, I'm a little like blah. Like I have my coffee.
You only work one day.
Well, Sundays are tough, man. I get there
You
first
get there,
hour of Sunday.
hour and a half, you're
it's
almost
hard.
done preaching.
I gotta schmooze people before, you know. You gotta sing songs and meet and greet and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
you
fair
know.
enough, fair
Takes
enough.
me a little bit to get my pep in the step going, if you will.
Butt chug a Guinness.
Okay, all right. So if they find me in the bathroom and fire me, that's like, hey, bro, I'm just preparing for the day, man. Like the sermons are hard.
Leave me alone.
Now I don't eat breakfast. I've never eaten breakfast. Not really my thing.
Yeah,
So
same here.
I drink coffee and sometimes I will have I'll have the good grief, it's from On It, and it's the Total Brain. And you put a little package in your water and drink that. Got a little B vitamin,
Sure.
a little jump start. Sometimes
Booster.
I'll do that, but other than that, I don't really have any like secrets. Nothing that stirs my fancy, if you will.
So, I have tried this one because I was told that is the best way to kickstart your day.
Now, what is this?
And you just drink like 8 to 16 ounces of ice water. It's supposed to jumpstart your body.
Really, ice water? Like
ice water.
Really?
Yeah, it does that, and then kickstarts your metabolism for the day. It's
Wow.
I've noticed. I've done it, and usually I like to get as much sleep as humanly possible in the morning.
Okay. So you take it to the edge.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Take it to the edge.
So
So if you got to be there at 8, you're like sleeping until 7:40. That sort of thing.
Yeah. So I know exactly how long it takes to get to work.
Okay.
And I know exactly how long it takes me to get prepped and repped. So
Fair.
give me 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Wow.
That's dressed, brushed, all the good stuff, and then I can be out the door in 4 minutes.
So you don't have like a morning constitution that you got to take care of?
No,
Really?
I do that at work when I'm on the clock.
Nice. Nice. I hope your boss listens to this.
I like to get paid to
like
poop.
paid to poop. See, I can't do that. Like as soon as I get up, sit on the couch, and like literally one sip of coffee, my body is like, it's time to go. If I'm lucky, I'll get half a cup of that first cup of the day, and I gotta go to the bathroom, man. Like it's on.
Well, and coffee is weird. It doesn't really do that to me.
Okay.
But a lot of people, they say that it does, but for whatever reason, it doesn't have that effect on me.
That's weird.
Coffee doesn't have a very energizing effect on me either.
Okay.
I could drink a cup of coffee and go to bed 10 minutes later.
Not
The caffeine in coffee doesn't really affect me too much.
gotcha. Well, I drink coffee all day, and I have since I was young.
That's your problem.
Maybe it is. But about, I don't know, 33, 34, somewhere in there. If I drank coffee past about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I would have trouble sleeping. So I had to cut back on some of that nonsense. Sometimes I'll still break that rule, but man, I can't do it all day anymore. So usually till about noon, and I'm done.
Interesting. Now I've done there for a while when I was at my previous job working out in the field all the time.
Yeah, right.
Man, I got heavy into energy drinks.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, and I would drink 3, 4, 5 of them in a day.
Ugh,
Yeah, terrible for your heart. And then cold turkey that. Just,
Okay, good.
Just because
I'd rather you do alcohol coffee enemas than drink energy drinks.
I can't stand Monster.
Okay.
But it was between Nos and Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then Diet Rockstars.
Do they still make rock stars?
Yeah.
So in college, I had a few. I didn't drink very many of them, but I really liked the rock stars.
Yeah. Those ones
And
aren't bad.
They're not too bad. And of course, I can't drink anything diet. That aspartame
I
taste.
like it.
Ugh, God,
I like the flavor of that.
can't do it. Now, I will say, I can do me some straight Diet Coke out of a bottle. Ice cold, I like it. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but the rest of them, Dr. Pepper, anything diet, not for
Well,
me.
and Coke went back to their old formulas.
Oh, really?
Now,
I didn't know they changed.
well, I didn't either, but I'd say probably 6 months ago, I got a Coke, and I'd occasionally get a Coke, and it just left a funky taste.
Right? Like you're talking like a regular Coke?
Just a regular Coke,
Okay.
just Coca-Cola. And then I ended up getting another one the other day, just a bottle, and it said the original recipe or something like that, whatever. And it completely different taste.
I wonder what they changed.
I don't know, maybe they put more Coke in it.
Oh, interesting.
A girl can dream, right?
You know, they tried the new Coke in the 80s
Yep.
as a big flop.
Yep.
I wonder what they were messing with now.
Sugar, probably.
Yeah, probably so.
Put some of that GMO MSG in it. I don't care what they did. It's delicious.
Well, very good. All right, well, let's get this show on the road.
Cool.
And before we crack a cold one today, how about we break open a little On the Wagon articles?
Sounds good.
3 dead and hundreds injured after storms rouse scorpions in Egypt come out of their hibernation.
Do what?
Yeah. 3 people are dead and hundreds are injured after inclement weather roused hordes of venomous scorpions out of their hiding places into streets and homes.
Holy crap.
So vicious rain. Now get this. This is Egypt, right?
Yeah?
Vicious rains, dust storms. Now I can see the dust storms, but not the vicious rains. But anyway, vicious rains, dust storms, and snow in the southern city of Aswan last week drove out scorpions as well as snakes. And 3 people have died, and 450 people have been injured by the stings so far.
Jeez Louise.
Those who have been injured are being treated with antivenom at hospitals and in more remote areas at little clinics, I guess, that they've popped up.
Well, I thought getting stung by a scorpion is really not a big deal.
Well, apparently these are, let's see, they say, it says scorpion stings can be lethal. The Egyptian fat-tailed scorpion is a species that is particularly harmful. And
Gotcha.
they will flat kill you, apparently.
Yep. Especially when you're out there in them sandy areas and you get a long hike to go to the hospital.
Correct. I like also that the prime minister or whatever they call the guy, he was like, y'all go back to your houses. It's like, they're in our houses. What are you talking about?
I live in West Texas and I occasionally get scorpions in my houses. I don't live in a mud hut.
If I was in Egypt, I would just assume scorpions were, part of the deal.
Yeah.
You're going to have scorpions.
And here's your luxury mud hut. And in the back room is the scorpion lair.
It's a scorpion lair. You don't want to go in there.
Just leave them be.
We advertise it as a 3-bedroom hut. It's actually 4, but the 4th one's we sacrificed it to the scorpions.
They'll leave you alone if you leave them alone. They're really good neighbors. Don't pay shit for rent.
And they'll bite your ass if you go close to them. Well, I'll tell you what, if I was surrounded by Egyptian fat-tailed scorpions, I would definitely want some tasty libations to wash the pain away, so to speak.
No joke.
You ready for ours for the week?
Let's do it.
All right, my friend, what are we sampling today?
All right, so
give us a good one, BZ. Give us a good one. Last week was a little bit of a letdown for me.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, this one has a beefier ABV.
Okay, that's good because last week was the lowest, so it
the lowest one we've had yet.
So a little better than that. Dang, it is beefy.
Yep. So what we're drinking today is coming from the Wild Acre Brewing Company. They're out of Fort Worth.
Okay.
And this is the Texas Blonde Imperial Pineapple.
Interesting.
And it is 7.5 ABV.
Okay.
Sorry, and a 25 on the IBU scale. So on their website, if you want to go check them out, it's wildacrebrewing.com.
Okay.
Their description is a stylish imperial blonde ale with a huge pineapple personality. This beer takes our beloved Texas Blonde and turns it into a 7.5 ABV. We infuse our classic Texas Blonde recipe with fresh pineapple juice, keeping the tropical essence of
Whoa. Really?
Azaka?
Okay, I'll take it.
Azaka hops?
I'll accept it. I don't know if that's correct or not.
I feel like that's right.
Okay.
AZACCA.
Okay, I'll take it.
So
Some sort of hops.
just some hop.
Okay.
An A hop.
Hip hop.
Hippopotamus.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Why is my beer a little sticky and smells of cinnamon before we've even opened it? Like, what's going on?
So, funny story.
Bro, it smells like straight cinnamon. What is that?
So, I think it was episode 3 of the Hidden Revival.
Oh, snap. The Goldschlager?
Yes.
What did you do?
I did nothing.
Okay,
So,
I don't know about that. Let's hear the
The
story.
libation station decided that it was tired of Goldschlager as well.
Okay.
And it blew the cap off of it. Which
Dang.
I didn't know was possible.
Wow.
So I opened up the libation station and it was just a little flecks of gold all through it.
Wow.
So
Now, in true Beezy fashion, did you clean the libation
hell
stand?
no.
You just
I gave it a once over with the wash rag.
It's just a little patina in there. A little
You
gold
know,
flakes never hurt nobody.
we got about 75 cents added value on this puppy now.
That's fantastic. So we're gonna get some Texas blonde pineapple with a hint of cinnamon.
Yeah, only if you lick the can.
It's really gonna hit you on the nose, probably more.
Yeah, that might alter a little bit of the nose.
Oh man, that's fantastic. All right, so well, let's get into it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
I'll say on the nose,
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
it I do get a little bit of the coleslaw.
Cinnamon's definitely coming through a little bit on the nose. That is hilarious, bro.
Whew.
Okay, now look. I know where you line up as it comes to bitter, hoppy beers. I don't mind that at all. Now, I will say, I'm a little thrown by the blonde. It doesn't strike me as a blonde ale, but it may be because I haven't had very many quality blonde ales.
Well,
I mean, that's very possible.
I think it's the Azaka hops.
Okay, well, I kind of dig it. I mean, the pineapple is light. It's not overbearing.
It's very light.
And I know that probably takes points away for you.
It does.
But for me, I kind of like the hops flavor coming through without the pineapple.
Yeah.
And it's more of like almost a pale ale than a blonde to me.
It definitely tastes like a pale ale.
Yeah, man.
Maybe it should have been an Imperial Pineapple Ale.
Pineapple ale. Yeah.
An IPA.
Oh, gracious. Well, we'll send them an email or something.
Maybe they'll take it to heart. Who knows?
So, look, I think one of the last ones we had from Wild Acre was not a fan favorite, if I remember correctly. We had one that I can't remember if we actually did an episode on it, but we had one.
We did I want to say the last Wild Acre we did was in the Seltzer Smackdown.
Oh, that's right. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, I do remember that.
God awful.
Okay, so you guys stick with ales, either
Yes.
blonde or pale or whatever you want to call it, but stay away from the
Get out of the
seltzers.
seltzer game.
You've lost that particular battle. So
Handily.
okay, all right. Look, I'm gonna put this one higher than I thought I would, just because I'm not a big fruit beer guy, but the pineapple is so light that it's really more of that pale ale flavor and taste. The IBUs are a good balance to it, I think. And I think it could even be a little more bitter, but that's just me.
And see, to me, this is one of the beer, like the last several beers that we've done, when we read the IBUs,
Right.
it does not taste like a 20.
That's true.
In the 20s.
Yeah, I think we had one that was like 28, and it just didn't taste like that
tastes
at all.
like 10. This one tastes like a 32 to me. It's pretty bitter.
That's funny.
It's pretty bitter.
All right. Well, I might surprise you a bit.
Okay.
I'm going to put this in an 86.
Holy crap.
I'm going to go way up there. I like this beer a lot. And
86.
I've spoken a Oliva cigar, which is kind of a middle-of-the-road cigar, not too dark, not too light. And it pairs pretty well. If you're an IPA guy, then you would definitely enjoy this pairing. If you like sweet beers, definitely wouldn't like it that much.
I keep drinking it. I don't know why.
That's a pretty good sign, pretty good.
So it just
Beezy seal of approval.
just on the chance that I'm still a little energized from the butt chug Guinness,
Right, the caffeine's still flowing.
I might have to put a caveat on this vote, but I want to give it an 80.
An 80. Okay, I'm very surprised.
I want to give this an 80 because, granted, it does not have the big pineapple flavor that I expect. Like Ace has a pineapple ale.
right.
Actually, I think it's a cider.
Okay,
But
that changes a whole bunch.
yeah, and most of the pineapple brews that I've had, you actually taste the I get a very, very faint on the pineapple.
I see.
Which I'm knocking points for it.
Okay.
The IBUs, it's different because whenever I've had IPAs, that bitter sticks with you. It's like somebody farted in your mouth.
What?
And you're just chewing on it, and it won't go away.
That's a very unpleasant situation that you've
IPAs are unpleasant.
They're fantastic.
No,
what are you talking about?
No, they are not, sir. your voice is invalid here.
Like, I could definitely see you saying it's like potpourri, it's like eating flowers and blah, blah, blah. But if somebody farting in your mouth.
Fine. A granny farts in your mouth.
You got stuff going in your butt or out of your butt, like on your mind, man, all day today.
I don't know.
You got the whole human centipede thing going on.
A self centipede.
Oh, geez, that's terrible.
What I like about this is the fact that even though it has a 25 IBU, it's pretty high up there. It is bitter to me.
Right.
The bitter is gone really quickly. And I think that's why I gave it an 80.
Well, I was suspecting low C from you, so that's interesting. If you don't know, if you're just joining us maybe the first time or a couple of times, in our libations library on our website, so www.fwgdpodcast.com, you can go over there. Beezy's done quite a bit of work making sure all these stay updated.
Yes.
So you can go see all of our rankings in there from episode 1 all the way to now.
Yes.
And you can see where we fall, and especially look at the sweet beers compared to the IPAs and some others. Definitely some big chasms there. And there's been some surprises through there too.
Yeah, there has been.
And what we'd love for you to do is, if you've had this beer, go over to the Facebook page, let us know. Let us know what you think of it. We always like to hear what you guys think compared to what we do.
Yeah.
And if you send us a ranking, we might put it on the website too.
Actually, we will.
Okay, there you
I'll
go.
crunch the numbers.
Nice. So we'll kind of average the audience score, and a lot of them doesn't have audience scores, so you could be like the first and only.
Yeah.
Be
That's, I think we've got 2, maybe 3 that have an audience score, and we've done 56 beers.
Nice.
So,
And by the way, there's nothing lower than a 30.
Let's face it, man. That rambunctious stench that's been ruminating in your boxer shorts for most of the day isn't something to be proud of. And historically, that particular sweaty unpleasantness has just been a living hallmark of the hardworking man you are. Hi, I'm Beezy the Heathen, and this sad, sweaty sack next to me is Pastor Pinewood.
Hi.
And I gotta say, buddy, you smell like what crawls from a dead skunk's ass in summer. Now, I have already discovered the key to maintaining a glorious smelling undercarriage that, regardless of the rigors and toils of a strenuous workday, keeps me fresh and confident for hours. It's like 1,000 sweet smelling angels are gingerly caressing my most delicate man bits in my darkest of times.
Man, that sounds amazing. Because usually I just silently suffer until quitting time, when I can get out of my sweat-drenched underwear and remove the fully baked medicated powder biscuits that have formed in my nether regions. Beezy, I want to be like you.
Don't worry, baby bird. Old Beezy is going to show you exactly how it's done. For a limited time, you and all of our listeners have exclusive access to a one-of-a-kind company that specializes in everything to keep that funk off your junk. I'm talking, of course, about Ballsy. Go to ballwash.com and peruse their scrotal sanctifications. There's the Ball Wash Body Wash for your pits and where you sits. The Ball Guard Liquid Powder to keep those ball biscuits that you struggle with from ever baking. And my personal favorite, the Nut Rub, which keeps your family jewels looking and smelling regal. With all these products and more, there's nothing standing in the way of you smelling, looking, and feeling absolutely amazing south of your equator. Head to ballwash.com and use promo code FWTG15 at checkout. You'll get 15% off your purchase. Hurry out and get it handled today. And Pinewood, trust me on this, your colleagues will thank you, your wife will thank you, and maybe most important of all, you will be forever thanked by your manly spunk bunkers.
Beezy, you're absolutely right. Ballsy is amazing. I'm so glad you turned me on to them and their products.
Hey, just wait until I tell you about the shampoo and deodorant so we can tackle that hot mess you got going up on the top half. Now visit ballwash.com today and save.
Thanks for listening to the folks that support the show. We hope that you show them some love as well. Let's get right back into it with a little, hey, let me ask you something.
Let me ask you something.
Maybe one of these days I'll get the levels correct.
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
It's pretty loud Frasier there. Not Frasier,
I like that.
Kramer.
Kramer, man, he just slaps the shit out of that bass. Love it.
All right, so we got 2 questions today.
Yes.
One is a legal question.
Yep.
And then the other one is a advice question.
Yes.
So let's start with the legal question.
Let's do it.
This is coming in from Randy. And Randy apparently was recently arrested.
Oh, well, good on him.
And Randy got arrested, and the cop put him in the car. And on the way to the jail, which was apparently over 30-minute drive, so it was a while in the vehicle.
Okay. So it's either he lives in a rural town or he lives in a bustling metropolis, and it just took him 30 minutes to go 2 blocks.
My guess is he started in the city, and they chased him out of town and then to bring him back to the city.
That'll
But
happen.
regardless, when he got in the car, of course, he's cuffed.
Sure.
And so they start driving, and the cop insists on listening to the Alex Jones show on the way.
Oh, InfoWars?
InfoWars.
Oh,
and
nice.
and Randy's not having it. So he voices his concern that he shouldn't have to listen to the Alex Jones show.
Okay.
And the cop says, basically, sit down, shut up. We'll be at the jail in a minute. And the question is, can a cop force a suspect to listen to Alex Jones or anything else if they don't want to listen to it on the way to the jail?
Yeah. Yeah, he can.
So your immediate answer is yes.
You're in the back of that car for a reason. You don't have any rights anymore.
Well, I mean, you do have rights.
Miranda's.
I was gonna say, you got the right to shut up is what you got.
I tell you what was his name?
Oh, Randy.
Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
I tell you what, Randy. You can reach up there and change that station. Feel free.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. And so there is an interesting article, but a response to his question on Quora.
Okay.
It comes from a attorney, and he says, he asks the question again, can a cop force a suspect to listen to Alex Jones on the way to the jail? And the attorney says, force a suspect to listen, as in demand that he pay attention and give evidence that he's processed what's being said, no. So you cannot give them like a test at the end.
Right,
and if
right.
they fail, you just take them around the block again.
We're going to listen again till you learn.
You can't do that. But if you mean, can he have Alex Jones on in his cruiser, even if the suspect objects? Yes. Barring any departmental policy to the contrary, he absolutely can. He can also play Nickelback, the soundtrack to Cats, and the theme song from Barney if he so chooses. Any other such thing that may verge on cruel and unusual in the mind of the average arrestee does not matter. If you find it objectionable in the cop cruiser, you have no right to ask him to change the radio station.
So I was right.
You were correct, sir.
Of course I am. I'm always
were
correct.
correct.
I'm always correct.
And then also, take this moment to realize that of all the things that Alex Jones has done, he's not in the back of a cop car going to jail. Randy,
Right
you're
now,
the
anyways.
one. Well, not yet. Not yet. The year is just beginning, so we'll see how that goes.
That's true.
But Mr. Randy, you are the one going to jail. So
You, sir, have lost your rights.
maybe you should start listening to Alex Jones a little bit more, and it'd keep you out of jail.
You might could learn something.
At the very worst, you just sit in your camper with a tinfoil hat. You're not going to be going to jail anytime soon.
Well, unless you're stockpiling weapons, and then
That's true.
you get put on an FBI watch list.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But hey, man, if it's legal,
I mean,
more power to you.
do it to it.
I tell you what, you know that couple in Tremors where Reed
Yeah,
McIntyre?
Yeah.
We all need that friend. We need
Yeah.
that friend.
We
And
have that friend.
Yes, we do. And, we're trying to become that friend. We just
Yes.
we haven't got there quite yet. Hey, by the way, have I talked to y'all about Patreon yet? That would really help us to
Yes.
fulfill that goal.
Yes, it would.
All right, Randy, so shut up and listen to your Alex Jones and, be very eerie of the enemas they provide in prison. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a different experience.
Yeah, you're gonna butt chug some prison hooch.
Yeah. Yeah, or a prisoner named Hooch.
Good grief.
Yeah, that presents a whole different set of circumstances.
That's a whole new set of circumstances.
All right, so we got the legal question out of the way.
Yes.
And how about the advice question?
Okay, this question's coming from Fergus Mason.
Farragus?
Fergus.
Okay.
Fergus Mason. And Fergus wants to know, my children are vegan, and my mom watches my children while I'm at work. She keeps feeding them animal products. How do I tell her to stop?
How often does your mom watch your kids, Fergus?
I mean, if he's a vegan, He's probably only working a couple hours a day.
So 20 hours a week max. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's say he's working 4 days a week.
Okay.
So mama's got the kids 4 days a week.
Okay.
At least one meal for those days.
Sure.
So
I could tell him right now his kids aren't vegan.
correct. Correct. When you say that you have vegan children,
You're wrong, sir.
you might be a vegan,
You might think you're a vegan.
but your children most definitely are not vegans. They are,
They're eating good.
they're omnivores. They're omnivores is the way that works.
You know, that's why we've developed these teeth. We've
Right.
got incisors and molars.
Yeah, these canines right here in the front.
Yeah, the canines and all that suchins.
Yep.
And it's to cut meat.
That's right. Yep.
And then you use the back teeth to
chew it up.
masticate it.
Oh, nice word. I appreciate that. Like out of nowhere coming up.
Just
And that coffee enemy's serving you well, sir.
dropping them knowledge bombs, son.
All right, so let's answer old Fergus.
Fergus.
And by the way, if you haven't watched Supernatural, the demon guy Crowley, his first name's Fergus. But his mom in the show is Irish, and she always pronounces it Fergus, and
Fergus.
like rolls the R or whatever. So I can't say that word without saying it that way. So I apologize.
That's Fergus.
So let's try to answer his question. If I was in that circumstance, first of all, probably kill yourself, because if you're a vegan, you're probably going to die soon anyway.
Yeah.
And just
Your health is low.
Get you a health insurance policy. Maybe marry that lady from last week that is developing a cult.
Getting the cult rolling.
Maybe you can do something like that.
Yep.
But how do you broach that particular subject with your mom if it's super serious to you,
Super cereal.
but not to her? If she's just like flippant, like, yeah, whatever, like it's no big deal.
You're not vegan. Shut up.
Boy, I raised you on a beef farm. Like, you're fine.
You've literally helped me slaughter thousands of head of cattle, and you ate steak.
You ate steak your
All
whole
your
life.
life.
You've been vegan for 2 months, bro.
You met some crazy hippie bitch that was starting a cult, and now you think you're vegan.
She done killed her other husband. You got out when you could. You're still running with this shit.
Are we sure his name's not Andy? Maybe this is Andy.
Maybe so. Maybe he's just writing in again.
Yeah, could be just changing the name.
So I don't know. You got to understand that you're getting free childcare.
Yeah.
And so your leverage here is really low, if at all.
Yeah.
You don't really have much to stand on.
I think
If you could stand at all, because you're weak.
you're weak. You're protein deficient. I think what you...
We done did pissed off the vegan lobby. They're going to be after us. We got 16 subscribers, but we're going to have thousands of comments from the vegans.
Just feed the cat as well. Give the cat a ham sandwich, and just the vegan cat's hungry.
That's right. By the way, that's a shout out to episode 36 if you
Yes,
want to
it
go back
is.
and check that out.
And go to the merch store and buy that shirt, because that shirt's awesome.
That is a banging shirt for sure. So I don't know, man. I don't know how you don't, like I said, you don't have any leverage in that particular circumstance. If she really wants to fight you on it, she should just stop watching your kids.
Yeah, and then you find yourself into a whole new set of circumstances.
Then you can't work at all.
I mean, cut that half hour into 10 hours a week.
Then you're going to be eating whatever you can find, brother.
Government cheese down by the river.
You might be eating those scorpions in the fourth room of your hut if you're not careful. I don't know what you do at that point.
Yeah, I don't, man. To answer the root of the question,
Okay.
if you are dead set on being vegan, then if it's something that bothers you, you should approach it as diplomatic as possible.
Of course.
And that's going to be super difficult for a vegan.
Right.
Because he's probably getting done doing CrossFit too.
Oh, God.
So after he tells you that he's vegan, doing CrossFit and everything, then diplomatically approach it and say, look, these are some things that I'm trying to do. I'm instilling it in my children. I would appreciate it if blah, blah, blah. If you fed them grass clippings.
Right.
Or whatever.
Oh, shots of wheatgrass.
Yeah. If you want to be sober and vomit.
So I think, one thing you could do is provide meals for her to serve. That is one thing you could do.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about that, grandma's thinking, look, I'm going to give them what I got. And so you just say, okay, well, I'll bring you leftovers or whatever it is. You can feed that to the kids, and we'll call it good. And you can have some too, and maybe you'll kind of see it from my point of view. That's something you
How
can do.
am I supposed to prepare this? Just throw it through the wood chipper?
No, you make that like eggplant parmesan with all the vegan crap in there. And you just pop it in the oven, and then your kids will hate you forever. Like that's the way that works.
Exactly.
And by the way, in my mind, picturing a CrossFit studio that's vegan only, those looks like some weak CrossFitters. It'd be like me in the gym.
Hey, have I told you that I'm vegan yet?
Don't worry, they will tell you.
Don't worry, we know.
Dude, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. All right, so good luck trying to convince your grandmother to not eat or feed your children meat, and let us know how that goes for you.
Yeah, please.
All right, and if you do get in a fight and you find your way onto jail, don't be surprised whenever the cop makes you listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah, he's definitely not vegan friendly.
Definitely not. He will eat your
ass. He will eat your leftist ass. Like corn on the cob,
Corn on
right?
the cob. All right, man, let's get out of here.
All right.
Say, let me ask you something.
Kind of right. I
Giggity.
want a little more of that.
I know, man.
But we'll have to
slap it a
let's
bit.
save it for next time.
Okay, fair enough.
You want to do a little cinemize?
Let's do it. Looks like you had a little bit of trouble there.
Got it,
bud.
Coach. It's a great cigar and it stays lit well, but I talk so much that sometimes I go back to it and it's not lit anymore.
Yeah, that
Now,
happened.
for Cinemize, typically we do like movies, television shows, and we list them or list actors or whatever.
Sure.
Beasley's kind of coming to the table with something a little different this week.
Yeah.
Enlighten us.
Okay. So, me and you are both subtitle people. We watch it on everything.
Yep.
So, this question is, do you mind reading subtitles when you watch a foreign language film, or do you prefer to have it dubbed into your own language?
Definitely subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely subtitles. And like you said, I watch them always anyway.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if
right.
it's English or foreign or whatever.
Sure.
I always watch them with subtitles on. And I find myself more often than not listening and watching the show, but when things drop out or a scene comes on where the subtitles will come up and nothing's really happening, you catch glimpses of stuff within the movies that you wouldn't catch without
Right.
them. And both of us started because we had a deaf roommate.
Yeah.
And it was kind of annoying at first.
And now God, that's been 15 years.
It's been a long time, and now it's annoying not to watch them with subtitles.
Yeah,
I'm like, God, I don't
exactly.
even know what's going on. Like,
Exactly.
we went to the wife's parents for Christmas, and we were watching a couple movies. Of course, they don't watch them with subtitles because they think that's weird.
Oh, yeah.
And like
how am I supposed to get my readings in?
a quarter into the first movie, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. She's like, just listen. It's like I can't.
don't have to
I can't
listen.
anymore. I have to read my movies now. It's just one of those weird deals. Like you just get accustomed to it, and then they
Yeah.
take it away, and you're like, well, what the heck?
What's going on here? I don't know how to function proper.
Now, I will also say I don't watch very many foreign films.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah, we've touched on a couple of them, and I've got, if I'm gonna watch them, I can't watch those movies dubbed. I'll have the subtitles for sure.
Yeah,
because
the
the
dubbing throws
is,
it off.
It's terrible.
Yep.
The dubbing is incredibly bad.
Yeah, and I feel bad for people who don't speak English because all the great movies, well, I say all of them. I'm sorry. Several of the great movies are in English, and they have to watch them dubbed.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's really distracting.
Well, and you get the voice acting alone is terrible enough as
Right,
is because they don't look anything like their characters they're on screen.
Yeah, right. That's true.
And then a lot of the time there's there's quite a bit of translation that gets lost.
I would agree with you there.
Especially like when you're watching Japanese or Chinese martial arts films.
Right.
Some of that stuff is just like, what the hell what did I read?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's probably true. And I imagine the subtitles are that way also, that sometimes they lack a little bit.
Yes.
But it would be worse with the dubbed.
Right. And that's one of the things that my wife hates is dubbed movies.
Really?
Anything,
dubbed movies, not
anything
subtitles.
dubbed.
Gotcha.
She can't do, because if the mouth doesn't line up,
Right.
nope.
Yeah.
We're new show.
Done with it, huh?
Whatever. That one's trash to me. I don't care.
Fair enough. Fair
But
enough.
I've seen several movies like Ong Bak.
Yes.
1 through 3. I love all those movies. The Ip Mans.
Okay.
All those martial arts movies are really solid in my opinion. And I've seen them. I've seen those movies dubbed, subtitled, and in the original language because I've seen them so many times. I know what's going on.
Right.
So
You cycle through
I
a
already
little bit.
know the movie. I know what they're saying in my head. In English, they're talking to me.
That's how they get you.
But I mean, just to be honest with you, I watch foreign language films in subtitles in the original language of the film because that's how I learned how to speak 15 languages.
Right. Of course that's how you learn how to speak languages.
Parlez-vous français? Konnichiwa. Cuisine.
Well, we won't put your language expertise up against anybody who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, that was perfect pronunciation
Sounds like it.
all across the board.
Yep, we'll get Nicole on the phone next time and see how she thinks about that.
Fair
All
enough.
right, good Cinemize. This is one of those that we would like to hear from you. I definitely would like to hear some of our fan favorites out there. If they prefer subtitles, if they hate subtitles, and if you hate them, we will make sure to invite you over to watch a movie and
We'll
make you
keep
do
it in subtitles.
It'd be like Clockwork Orange, where we peel your eyelids back, just make you watch that
You got to
stuff.
watch it now.
All right, let's do a little Thank You Blinders.
Cool. Thank you, blindness. Nailed it.
Got it, Coach. Not every
Nice.
time, but every once in a while.
Every once in a while, you gets it.
All right, so Thank You Blinders is just that blind, and I don't know what Beezy's going to ask me, and he doesn't know what I'm going to ask him. I went first last time,
Yes,
so
you
how
did.
about old Beezy? You take first stab at it.
I think I've asked you a question similar to this, or maybe you asked me one similar to this, but it's been a while,
Okay,
and I think I've tweaked it enough to where it's who cares.
fair point.
If you could do magic, but you can only cast one spell for the rest of your life, what spell are you choosing?
So I remember, I don't know the context when we talked about this, but yours was Fireball.
Which is even funnier because I taught my daughter Fireball.
Really?
So we have the little white wool laundry balls,
Oh, yeah.
keep clothes from wrinkling
Right,
and such.
right.
So she gets those and she'll just run through the house and Fireball! Just deck me in the face with it.
Nice.
So,
All right, so passing on good behavior.
good behavior. I mean, learn spells. Fireball's usually on top of the list.
Okay, all right, so math, all that stuff down the list, but Fireball up there.
Fireball's up there.
All right, so if I had one spell, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think I'd have to do a little research. What's my expanse of options?
Anything and everything in the arcane world. I'm talking any Dungeons and Dragons spells, any Vigi game spells.
And this is in real life, like today.
This is like tomorrow. You just graduated Hogwarts.
Gotcha. I can't think of one that would be more useful than invisibility.
Really?
I really don't think I could. Like I could get almost everything I want to get done by being invisible.
Huh. And see, I've thought about this one immensely.
I'm sure you have.
That's how I go to sleep. What spell would I like to cast on myself? If I could only cast one spell.
I had one too many enemas today. I can't sleep. What should I choose?
So, I think invisibility is decent.
What do you
I
mean
think
decent?
that's a decent one that
Okay.
every schmuck is going to pick.
Okay.
But if I have cure wounds,
Hey man, screw you, bro. All right, cure wounds.
cure wounds, so
right.
I can heal myself.
Okay.
I can go rob a bank, get shot, plow.
Why don't you
Cure
just be
wounds.
invisible and not get shot?
What happens if you stub your toe and get gangrenous?
Go to
While
the
you're
hospital.
invisible.
I'll go to the hospital afterwards.
They got to cut your foot off. Now you're an invisible hopper.
Well, they can't see me. I guess they can hear me.
What if
5, 10, 15,
20.
20.
Do you hear that?
What's going on? It definitely would limit your quick getaways if you only
Yeah,
had
you wouldn't be able to. I
one
mean,
place.
and then that depends on how long the invisibility spell lasts.
I would assume that if I had power over it, it'd be as long as I wanted.
Okay, fair enough.
And look, you could say a barrage of like fighter spells, but when's the last time you were in a fight and needed a spell? Like, hardly ever.
You worded that question wrong.
Oh, did I?
If you had the spell, how many more fights would you be getting in?
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I might. But if I was invisible, I feel like I could inflict damage like real fast and then run away.
Well, you don't get super speed.
But they
Your
can't
normal
see
speed.
me. Wouldn't it be funny if there's just like floating knives?
What the hell are these knives doing here?
Somebody grab that guy. Where? I don't see anybody.
There's nobody here, man.
I feel like I get everything done that I want to do that's nefarious of purpose with the invisibility cloak.
Maybe, but I feel like Cure Wounds is definitely the route to go.
Now, would you use that for good or evil?
Yes.
You just see you going through the hospital like you cured. Pass. Cure.
Oh, he's invisible, but he's got
invisible.
gangrene in his toe. He ain't getting to Cure Wounds.
What if we just teamed up? I was invisible and I could run back to the shop and you could just cure me if I got hurt. You could just sit at this house and like collect the wares, spoils of war. And if something happens, I know I got you.
Yeah, but
backup.
in a police shootout, you know how many erroneous rounds there are, just fired. You're catching a stray bullet.
I see what you're saying, but
They don't know where the hell they're shooting,
right.
and if they just lay down a suppressing fire,
I feel like I'm smart enough
You're
to
catching
not
one.
get in a gunfight. Like what would I do as an invisible person to get into a gunfight? Like, what in the world's going on?
for robbing banks,
Well,
I
I'm
always
not
go
gonna
back
rob
to
a
robbing
bank.
banks.
I'm not gonna rob a bank. I might rob drug dealers.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Like case out the
that's
house.
definitely going to be getting some gunplay.
Well, maybe, but if they pass out and I'm invisible and I sneak in and I, rob their stash, steal their dog, I think we're good.
I just don't steal it from John Wick.
Well, that's true. Leaving
He'll
that
find
dog
your
alone.
invisible ass. Then you're going to be coming to me
Hey,
for that Cure Wounds.
That's John Wick 4 right there. John Wick fights an invisible assailant.
oh, good stuff.
All right, good deal. All right, your Thinky Blinder is definitely not as fun, but it might require a little mental gymnastics.
Okay.
So you're on an airplane, and there are 3 seats in the row. All
Okay.
3 seats have 2 armrests on either side.
Yes.
So, that being said, which one doesn't get 1 armrest?
This
You have 3 people.
this
Who's fighting it out for the armrest?
this is the classic conundrum.
I feel like the guy on the
Because
window.
you do the same thing with a movie theater.
Yeah, of course.
That's why I don't go to those movie theaters
They don't
anymore.
have
I go to the one
cheap
that has
armrest.
you get 2 seats right here with
Right.
a table,
Oh, gotcha.
and then you get 4 armrests for 2 seats.
Gotcha. No. Planes aren't like that. They're janky. So somebody's got to sacrifice an arm. Well, maybe not an arm, but a
I'll
rest.
tell you what. I'm gonna cut his arm off, and then when we get done with the flight, I'll Cure Wound. Give him his arm back.
Hope it's a short flight. Or you can cut it off just right above the elbow so he won't need it and tourniquet, and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then he'll be
Who cares?
cursing you the whole time.
Yeah.
But, you just heal him at the end and everything's forgiven.
good to go. Good to go.
I figure, well, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting. I'm taking away from your question. So,
No, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 armrests.
Correct.
For 3 seats.
Correct.
Okay. So, if we're logistically looking into this, the far armrest towards the window
Correct.
worthless. Get rid of that.
What? Well, one guy gets that one.
No, it goes away.
What do you mean it goes away?
It's a pointless freaking.
You can't take away the armrests.
Yeah,
they're there.
You literally go.
No, I'm saying
Taken away.
He gets that armrest. There's nobody's going to contest him for that armrest. It's his. Same way with the guy on the outside and his left.
I'm saying
He
what
gets the
we
armrest.
do is we remove that armrest from all flights from now on and forever.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay.
Then you have 3 armrests. Everybody gets a left armrest.
Oh, I see. Well, what if your right arm gets tired?
Well, shift. Swing over in that bitch.
Pull it this way.
Then,
Stick it out the window and do the little airplane motion.
I think you base it. If you're on a long flight,
Right.
you've probably talked to the people that are next to you.
Right. Unless they are invisible and you can't see them.
Well, that's fair. And at that point, who cares? Then you get 2 armrests.
Your visible guy's just got to deal with it.
He's got to do it.
He didn't
What's he
wanna
going to
give
do?
away.
Make himself known? Yeah, joke's on him. That's what you get, sucker.
I gotta sit like this the whole flight.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I don't know. If you can't get rid of it, talk to him, see if you can use
Okay.
one or the
It's
other.
kind of like a barter system. Or
Yeah.
I'll use it for a bit, then you can use it.
You can have visitation on Sundays.
There you go. My arm fat's warmed it up. Now
Right,
you can
right.
take your turn, that sort of thing.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So you're kind of thinking more like an amicable solution, not fisticuffs for the armrest.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, unless you did have fireball, and then
Oh, if I had fireball,
then
I'm
all
not-
the armrests are.
I'm not casting fireball on an airplane. We're in a sealed tube full of oxygen.
It's a fair point.
So,
Probably just deal with it.
yeah, I'm going to do
Wouldn't
it.
that be an interesting conundrum? You have like the most badass power in the world, where you could kill people with
can't
fireballs, but
do
you
it.
can't do it.
Yeah, because you got an oxygen tank hooked up to you.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
You just need somebody that has cure wounds.
Yep. And in that particular circumstance, you also need somebody who can fly to bail your butt out whenever the plane, explodes.
Yeah. Get that friend that has flight.
Nice. All right. So basically, what we need to do is hire a cohort of superheroes.
Yep.
All right. I think
Seems easy
we
enough.
just save the world.
Problem solved. Problem staying solved.
Well, speaking of saving the world, let's do a little arguing and get to Pastor and the Heathen.
Okay.
The Pastor and the Heathen.
Pastor and the Heathen is basically a segment where we ask questions, and usually we have 2 particular vantage points, 2 particular ways of looking at something.
I like vantage points.
I like that too. And
Feels good.
A lot of times, sadly, we're similar in the way. Maybe it's because you're not a real heathen and I'm not a real pastor. I don't know what. But whatever it is, this week's a little bit different.
Yes.
And, BC, I'll kind of let you take over. What were we doing?
So I found some pretty interesting questions. And I say questions because there's several of them. And we're going to do kind of like we did a few episodes back with like a rapid fire.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just to get several of these knocked out.
Fair enough.
But these are questions that Christians can't answer.
Okay. Interesting.
Bum, bum, bum.
So these like poking holes kind of questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, question 1, when the Israelites were sent to the promised land,
Okay. Why are the quotations?
I don't know. This is what these questions are coming from an Edward Mullis.
Okay. All right.
And so he puts it in quotes.
Fair enough.
Promised land.
Okay.
Why didn't God merely kill everyone already living there instead of commanding the Israelites to murder millions of people?
What would be the difference? If God kills them, there's still millions of people being killed.
Well, he doesn't have to ask for forgiveness from himself.
Well, they don't have to ask for forgiveness either. They were told to do it.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
And the answer to that is the Israelites were told to do that early on, and they've been, kind of waiting and biding their time. And finally, God's like, "Look, it's now or never. You got
Shit,
to
get
go.
off the pot."
I already killed off Moses. Now go over there and take what's yours."
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. The next question.
if it is or was improper for a man to have sex with any female other than his wife, why was it allowable for Abram to force an Egyptian slave to allow him to impregnate her because Sarah, his wife, was barren?
I'm not sure it was allowable. He was kind of reprimanded in a roundabout way after that for that very act. And as a matter of fact, it split the entire course of history from the Israelites, the Judeo kind of Christian lineage from the Islamist lineage. That's those two sons kind of branched off. And also remember that Abram is pre-Abraham. So God has not made his covenant with Abram yet. Abram is still a godless man at this point.
He's pre-ham.
He is. He has no ham.
Oh, pre-ham Abram.
And we're going to hell. Okay.
Oh, man. Let's go to the next one. If God taught people to have moral values, then why did he instruct his followers and help his followers to steal from others?
Reference?
None. Bible?
Okay.
Ish. Old Testament, likely?
Yeah, Old Testament. Sounds like he's kind of fixated on the Israelites taking land and conquering peoples. So I would assume maybe he's talking about stealing people's stuff and lands and that sort of thing. And, I hate to be flippant about it, but this was, 3000 BC? It's kind of the way they did stuff. It's not like there was a bunch of amicable countries that kind of, peacefully traded with each other. It was a warlike time. If you didn't fight, you got killed. So it was either kill or be killed. And if you weren't on the killing side, then, you weren't going to make it.
Sure.
And so I think God was just operating in the confines of what the world was at the time. But also...
Didn't he create that world at that time?
Kind of. I mean, yes, but there's other issues that have gone on.
Oh, we may have a new question
there's
coming on.
A fall from grace that they've got to deal with. But also, no reference points or context.
Fair enough. Next one. How can you justify the wanton murder of newborn children and the random rape of female children? And he actually has a reference for Numbers 31.
Right. So I know the story, and it's probably one of the most pointed to references in Scripture, and it is rough. It's definitely rough. But I would go back to my previous answer. This is the time, and this is what people did during those times. So people who believed in Jehovah would not have acted in any different way. They just would have been conquering type people, and that's what you did.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to have offspring from unclean people. And so to prevent that, the way that God chose to prevent that at that time was to get rid of those people.
Just get rid of them. Who cares about a bath?
It's harsh. It's harsh, but that's the way it was.
Yeah, Bible times.
Yeah.
Who wants to go back there? Ugh.
Yeah. But I would also say, look at what everybody else was doing at this time. It was definitely no better, and a lot of times worse.
Next one. How can you define something that a person does as evil and wrong, but define the same thing that is done by your own leader as good and right?
No reference again?
No, but I would assume, if you were to take it into modern times.
Right.
Like bombing of Hiroshima.
Well, I think that goes to the importance of context, historical context as well as biblical context, that you can't just read a story and immediately go to, well, that was wrong, and I would never do that because I'm looking at morality through my eyes in 2022.
Sure.
And take that same morality and put it back, in 3000 BC. It's the same argument we really have with looking at our forefathers in slavery. Like, yeah, it was horrible. It was rough. And
everybody did it.
It was wrong. But if you go back to that society in that time, it's different, and it's not good now. It wasn't good then, but it was viewed differently. So again, context especially historical context is extremely important when dealing with this.
Sure.
What are people going to say even now, but 200 years from now when they look back to Hiroshima? Yeah, it was rough. You killed millions of people with a bomb, but how many people did you save by ending the war? There's context there.
Sure. It's that paradox.
Something like
you
that.
got 5 people
on a train track.
right. You gotta,
And then
right.
if it divides, you only kill one person.
Something like that.
So you kill 5 to save one, or kill one
to
to
save
5.
5. Yeah, it's kind of a devil's choice either way that you look at it.
You just blow the train up.
I was thinking, say,
Kill all of
or
them.
you just hit the brake, pull that little brake lever right here.
Oh, brakes are out. Brakes are out. What you do, you let the train go on the 5, turn the wheel real hard to roll the backside, and just get all 6 of them.
You get all 6 of them.
Mom's word, no witnesses.
No, it is a 6-0. 10 points apiece for those guys.
All right.
Put it on my tab.
The next one. How can you praise a God that you know from his word, the Bible, is a God that will order you to murder for him just to prove that you love him?
Well, there are definitely some circumstances, one in particular, that I can think of. So Abraham and Isaac, so his son up on the mountain. Now, God doesn't allow him to go through with it.
Right.
But you could also look at that and be like, man, that's kind of mess up. You got to take your son up there and like you just almost do the deed and your son's like, Dad, what are you doing?
Those jokes.
And an angel shows up and he's like, he's like Jim Gaffigan or something up there. And he's like, just kidding, guy. And go down and live your life. Have a good time. Don't forget this sheep that I provided for you.
What about that? What about that whole thing where you was about to kill me?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
Water under the bridge. Water under the bridge.
It's something else to consider is the importance of allegory here. Not everything that you read in the Old Testament, especially, I believe, can be taken fully at face value.
Sure.
Wading into difficult waters there, because a lot of people disagree. My family very much literal interpretist of Scripture, that it actually happened, and it very well may have. But also there's a chance that these historical writings, again, from 5,000 years ago, possibly could be stories to teach us lessons.
Parables.
Yes, not
Like I've
necessarily.
said multiple times.
Well, you say parables, they're not really parables. That's a different categorization. But they are analogous stories. So,
Analogous?
yeah, something like that. That's that coffee thing you had this morning.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not saying that's an unanswerable question. And again, no references, so it would be hard to pinpoint exactly what he's speaking of.
Yeah.
And then also no questions from the New Testament?
No.
I find that interesting. Seems
Yeah,
like
you
he's kind of holed up on one section of Scripture. And anyway, I will... Is that all of them?
Yeah, that was all. The last one's kind of goofy, so
Okay.
I'm not even going to mess with that one.
I think that if you want to poke holes in religion, you most certainly can.
Sure.
All religions. And if you want to believe in a religion, you can ignore all of those things. And the trouble comes, I would say trouble, I think what's interesting is when you wade into the gray areas like he's presenting, but understand he's presenting a gray area like a gotcha.
Right.
I want to present the gray areas like what if? What's really going on here? Let's start dissecting what you're talking about. And I think that's how two people that disagree communicate.
Sure.
So if you come at it with this hard nose, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? And yeah, you can get me on the ropes if you want to, but that doesn't serve a purpose at the end of the day.
Right.
And if we want to come to the table and to be friendly and go about our way and live our lives and be happy or whatever, I think we need to agree to see things from different points of view, but maybe also respect those viewpoints.
Yeah.
And
Be able to talk.
Be able to talk's a big deal. And I don't want to talk to somebody who's just throwing out gotcha questions all the time.
Yeah, and the being able to talk is the most difficult thing with our society right now.
Right. Which is interesting because most of
everybody
us talk.
everybody is
got an
getting their
opinion.
panties in a wad.
Yes.
And everybody has a different opinion.
That's true.
About the panties.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Lots of things people got opinions about. Yeah, that's a good point. So good questions for sure. But I think it would be better served if they were presented in a better way.
Sure.
So there's my answers.
I like it, brother.
All right. Well, let's. You want to do a little updates and get on out of here?
Do it to it. I got some news updates for you today.
You got the segment nailed as well as cracked a sipper beer.
Because I'm a champion, bro.
All right, man. Well, good to deal. Good to deal?
Good to deal.
Good to deal, man. Well, we don't have a whole lot of updates today, but I do want to take a moment just to thank everybody for tuning in, and all of you guys on YouTube who are kind of joining us for the first time and looking at us on video for the first time. I'm glad you didn't run away from us because, we're not the most handsome folks in the world, but
Speak for yourself.
we enjoy what we do.
I'm a fine piece of tail.
You're a fine piece of something, I'll tell you that. But thank you guys for checking us out, and go back and look at some of our back catalog. All of that should be uploaded now, so we got all the episodes. You won't have video, you just have still shots, but you can also go over to your podcast platforms that you prefer. You can listen to those while you're working or whatever it is, so go take advantage of all those things. I do want to remind everybody that we do have a Patreon account, and that helps us just continue to improve, so new equipment, new video cameras, switchers, hopefully a new television screen for in here.
Eventually.
That would be good. So all those things help us. And just so y'all know, the guys that have subscribed to our Patreon account, they get a once a month new different podcast that we call the Hidden Revival. And then also know that we haven't cashed out any of that Patreon money yet.
No, we haven't.
We've been self-financing. And at some point, we'll be using those things to do bigger and better things. So that's the idea. So go over there. You can find us, FWTG Podcast, and there's 2 tiers there. There's the Hidden Brethren and also the Life Shippers. You can join either one and get all the perks, as well as some pretty cool discounts on merch.
Yeah.
If you want to kind of dive into more of our communication and the friends that we have on Facebook and our private group, it's called Cult of the Life Shippers. You can go over there. You can join that group. You just search for it. I think you got to answer one question. They'll let you in. We post a whole bunch of memes and basically just BS with each other. It's a great time.
I get kicked out every quarter.
Yeah, BZ definitely has a track record of old Facebook jail.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, you're going to get solitary confinement here
I
before
know,
too
right?
long.
And
Hey,
we
we wanna-
start butt chugging some prison hooch.
Right.
Some Facebook prison hooch.
I remind everybody to check out Eccentric Brewing online. They're located in Midland, Texas. You can go there, and we'll leave the link in a description below, and you can find out all their information. Give them a call. Go visit them. Tell them that we sent you, and try out the Fuzzy Little Man Peach that they've got.
Fuzzy little man pitch.
It's fantastic.
It is.
I like that one. I also like the IPA that they have on tap the last time we were there.
Yep.
And the Pig Slayer is
Is
a
the
pretty
tits.
good beer. Just kind of your everyday beer.
Yep.
Very, very good. Really enjoy it. And make sure you give the owners a shout out from us. They are very good, wonderful people.
Yep.
Really enjoy having those guys on board. As always, thank you to everyone that takes time to listen and enjoy this show. We'd love for you to give us a review on any of your podcasting platforms, as well as our website, www.fwtgpodcast.com. You can leave a review, you can leave a voicemail, you can leave an email, you can do anything and everything on that website. Go over there and check that out. Every little bit helps. Anything and everything that you can do for us, we appreciate. We love you guys. Last but not least, as always, want to say thank you to our beautiful wives for continuing to allow us to do this. We got, 50 more episodes
50 more.
before they get to make the decision.
Yes.
So, all right, BZ, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and we'll do a little ponder this.
Ponder this. Did you know you could fit a horse in the fart bubble of a blue whale?
What?
You could fit a horse in the fart bubble of a blue whale.
That's pretty impressive.
That's awesome. That's a big fart. Well, folks, that's going to do it for episode 55 of Frat Knives with these guys. I'm BC the Heathen.
I am Pastor Pinewood.
Stay comfortable, friends. And remember,
When you enter the Thunderdome to listen to Frat Knives with these guys podcast, knowledge bombs dropped here are harmful to making and keeping friends. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, bro, I don't know if it was as good as the first take, but
well,
it
we're
was,
not going to change lives.
it was all right.
It was
all
decent.
right.
I forgive you.
Well, it was my fault.
I just want you to know you're a shitty good friend.
That doesn't even make
You
any
passed.
sense. That's an oxymoron.
You passed.
Okay.
But barely.
Oh,
You know what you got?
what?
F+. Click.